everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hayfries and Horseapples, the Equestrian Broadcasting Company's new podcast where we discuss ponies and other things like that. Rejoining us today, Mr. Shoebox.
Yo.
Noteworthy, who was introduced on the last episode as Nolan.
You are forgiven, Dalkin. Mistakes happen to everybody.
Yeah, well, you know, despite common belief, apparently, I am actually only human. So things happen.
They do indeed.
Myself, Dalkin Starbine, and joining us for the first time today is RadioHooves. Radio, can you tell us what you do for the Equestrian Broadcasting Company?
Hi, Dalkin. Thanks for having me. Long story short, I'm the head admin of the Equestrian Broadcasting Company, and have been since I founded it roughly 4 years ago. Yeah, it's been about 4 years now.
About that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get this party started. So, the episode this week, I had the title written down. I totally forgot what it was.
On your marks.
On your marks. Yes.
On your marks.
Yes.
It was. That's where it stopped. It was on your marks. I was waiting for it to start. I'm like, okay. Not to put too fine of a point in it, but yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here. I didn't hate this episode, but in my opinion, it was by and far not the strongest episode of the show that I've seen.
Go ahead. Sorry, Dalkin. Go ahead.
I guess I'll start with what I liked about it. I liked that they continue to focus on the Cutie Mark Crusaders with just the fact that even though they have their cutie marks, they're still learning stuff. And so they've demonstrated that they can at least, in the most fundamental sense, still do Cutie Mark Crusaders episodes. I know that was something that a lot of people who were like, well, the myself included, admittedly enough, was like, well, once you give the Crusaders their cutie marks, there's not a whole lot more point to them.
I agree. It was a good cap, but it was after that episode aired. I'm like, where are they going to go next? I was curious, and then this happened, and yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting seeing where they go from here. I didn't dislike the episode outright, but it did feel kind of awkward watching it most of the way through.
Yeah, I agree completely. It felt, after the opening episode, it just felt really listless and kind of drifting. It wasn't any specific direction until Apple became the primary focus. And even then, it was searching for its identity the whole time. That it really was hard for me to stay interested in it. I think that was the biggest downfall, is it didn't capture my interest and really get me wanting to know more about what was going on.
Kind of like what Apple Bloom was doing in trying to find her identity, which she'd been. That's it. I think it did raise a very good, well, not a problem, but it's something I hadn't noticed until now. The Cutie Mark Crusaders individually, most of when we've seen them, their personalities were more focused. In groups, were more focused on each other. There were very rare exceptions to this. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, they were defined as a group dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, Sorry.
And one minor thing, I think Bulk Biceps made this episode.
I really did like.
He did save it,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I really did like bulk biceps in this episode. Um, as far as the Crusaders go, I mean, we have seen previously little bits about their personal likes and dislikes and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, they've been a group. We've seen Sweetie Belle separate a little bit, but mostly the only one of them that we've seen entirely away from the others has been Apple Bloom.
Yes.
Even on the couple of episodes that we've had where it focused on one of them, basically the "Hey, it's time for Luna to visit your dreams, Crusaders" episodes. Which, I admit I have a little bit of a soft spot for those episodes just because Luna's in there, but
Big Bloom Moonhorse waifu forever.
oh yeah. I mean, I've got a giant picture of her on my desktop right now that our entire audience is staring at while we're discussing this. While I've
Hi,
got
audience.
a bunch of hi audience.
Hello, people.
With a bunch of Luna rain meter stuff on top of that. So
Well, she is the better developed of the two sisters, so.
I agree. There's and that was something that has been of hot debate for this season. Is that when are you going to talk about what Celestia's quote normal life looks like? And I want to watch that episode because I'm curious. And the longer they waited, the more maybe it's all part of the plan. We don't know. Haber and company are evil geniuses. I will say that much.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess I've totally avoided pretty much any promotional stuff for this season, as much as I possibly could. So I haven't been watching any of the episode teasers or the early release synopses or the the planned goals for the season or anything like that. Like, I've just been going, all right, I'm just gonna watch this raw and fresh. I guess I kind of like to have in that way it helps me have the most unbiased mindset possible going
Definitely.
in.
I think the big thing that Discovery Family did wrong was how much they pushed the promo weeks in advance. It's like, after so long, I already knew so much about the episode. Everything that happened wasn't a surprise anymore. It just occurred like, oh, that's where that cutscene's from. That's where that cutscene is from. SPOC is fantastic, but you need to do it limited and in a specific directional scope, so you give the audience a tease but don't actually give them so much of the story that they know that going in.
Well, and my other problem is with watching teasers about the episodes is pretty much exactly for that reason. I mean, the episodes are only 22 minutes long, so already if you have a 2-minute teaser, for example, which is probably longer than they actually make those teasers, but let's say you have a 1-minute teaser, all right? That's still 1/20th the size of the entire episode for a single minute. You have the same chance of rolling a crit on a d20. Literally.
That's happened a lot. That's happened an awful lot. Trust me.
Well, like, speaking from personal experience, I roll a lot of crits in my role-playing stuff. But I had a point here, and I totally lost it.
Sorry.
Right, so, as far as that goes, just keeping away from the promotional materials helps me go in without any kind of well, not any expectation, but as little expectation as possible So I'm not, going, oh yeah, this was from that part of the promo teaser thing or whatever. Whereas, like watching a trailer for a movie, you have even a 2-minute trailer, and it's not that big of a deal because you've got, like 120 minutes worth of content there.
And what you see usually is so out of sequence. What you get out of it isn't really relevant. And there have been many movie trailers I've seen where there's a scene that happens in it that you never see in the movie. Its intent is to get you drawn in, and that's what's. It can be done better if they really want to keep going that angle. But again, it's for 22 minutes. Even in 30 seconds, they've already covered all the important parts of this episode.
Well, like with with a series, I kind of feel like the job of getting you hyped for the next episode is kind of the job of the previous episode. It's a little bit harder with something with My Little Ponies format, which doesn't exactly have the continual narrative. You've got ongoing arcs and stuff like across a season, but for the most part, it's slice of life. But, if the show keeps being good enough, people are going to keep coming back. So using, all these teasers and basically giving away the episode before it even comes out, it's like, well, what's the point in actually watching the show at that point?
You're defeating the purpose of even having the series.
I think it's usually. I don't know. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. But back to the episode itself.
Yes, let's get back to that.
I have to wonder. So okay, so here we got Tree Hugger in her wordless cameo, and Granola Chick. It stands to reason that she'd be an art model, but I'm wondering. Okay, the implication is that she's a nude model, but they're already nude, so I don't get it. Yeah, ponies.
I think it's something similar to what happened back in the 60s and 70s, where you had those jokes that were told that the adults got, but the kids got differently. And that could be where Josh was trying to go there, where you have that it's the joke that does two purposes. One's interpreted perfectly innocuously. The adult goes, "Oh, I can't believe they just did that and they got away with it." And they did get away with it relatively easy. I mean, I didn't know this, and I catch a lot. And that snuck by me with not a problem at all. It was like
I noticed that, yeah, she was supposed to be kind of like the nude model thing, but at the same time, like, the show's been doing that sort of thing since season 1. So it's what I like to call the Disney approach to humor, which is exactly what you described. It's where they slip something in that they know is going to go over the kids' heads, but the adults will get it, and that's really the key to making any kind of family entertainment that the entire family can enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You're not gonna have the parents getting bored out of their skulls. But then, you're not going to have them going like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you put that in there. My child's innocent eyes." Unless you got, the people
unless
who
you're like
find
really
reasons to complain. But,
unless you're anti-horse.
Yeah. As far as getting around the people that are going to find any reason to complain, I mean, they're going to do that no matter what you do. So...
You mean like at the beginning of the episode where the CMC basically I mean there's no way to say this, they pulled down their pants. I mean,
what? Hang on, what?
Okay.
I'm
they
not
were
sure what you're getting at there, Shu. Please elaborate.
If I find the screen cap, you'll know what I mean.
About?
You'll see what I mean. When Apple Bloom's like, "Let's go get our cutie marks," and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little drunk.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm too sober for this.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be more sober next week, I promise. It's just
Well, I had debated, if at the very least doing a drunk episode, if not just making it a drunk show. So
I beat you to it.
Well, I don't drink,
We might
so
do something in the future where everybody has something alcoholic. However, there is I forget radio. You're not legal yet, are you?
yeah, technically I'm underage.
Yeah, you're still 20, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So next year, then we can have you on a drunk episode.
You do realize I go to what's ostensibly one of the big party schools of this state, right?
I know, but
Getting alcohol here is not hard.
Yeah, and I thought you'd be more.
Now we know what you're talking
But-
about. Right in
but-
the introduction scene.
But radio,
Yeah.
Yes,
that would
yes,
be
Nolan,
against the
Nolan.
law.
Yes, no.
Stop
no,
like that.
Clearly, you would
Don't.
not ever go
Yeah,
and
what he's-
procure alcohol being underage.
Yes, he would.
That would be illegal and wrong.
Yes, he would.
No.
Yes, he would.
Now,
I will show screen cap of episode. Okay, here we go.
okay.
Here-
Yeah, getting to She's point. What it is when they're first in the clubhouse and they're just looking at their plots, kind of going, "Wow, look at my cutie mark." And Appleman's kind of like, "Seriously? I'm trying to hold a serious meeting here, and you two are ignoring me." And then they go into the whole thing, and before you know it, they're decked in lederhosen. So Appleman goes out to the door, says, "Oh, we're gonna go get our cutie marks." And then Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle are like, "Yoink, yoink, duh, they're right there."
That, Elkin. I was talking about that.
Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't look suspect at all.
And that didn't even occur to me until you said something about it. And even I was like, it was just proving that they're there.
I was
That
gonna
they have
say,
butts?
how else are
I
you going to
think-
respond to Apple Bloom's comment there? I mean,
Yeah, there was
just
no answer. It's
saying
like,
it,
seriously?
no, you at that point you have to show the cutie mark because there's no other way to
Why?
respond to that level of just.
Absent-mindedness, we'll call it that.
So
to be
is this-
like Apple Bloom.
So, but I
Let's
do
just
have
be
to
frank.
wonder.
It's that level
Maybe-
of derp.
Maybe it's the mirror, but is this all they've been doing since they got their cutie marks? Just staying in their clubhouse, staring at their own asses?
I sure hope not. I mean, they're supposed to still be in school. They are supposed to go to classes every day, which I somehow doubt.
Like, I mean, I can imagine them calling cheerily and going, "We can't come in today. We're staring at our butts." But
Well, maybe it's the middle of summer for them.
is summer vacation a thing for them?
Sure, why not? Most of their
Exactly,
society is based
reasons.
on North American societal norms. So they probably have summer vacation and winter vacation and spring break and all that fun jazz. They probably
And they
have
celebrate-
Princess's Day off.
And they celebrate the holiday that celebrated when our entire civilization was nearly brought to an end by unfathomable wind monsters.
Yes.
Yay,
Friendship
friendship!
goes attack. Ugh.
And then we up and moved, who the heck even knows, and now we're all immigrants. Which totally
Yay.
explains why they're the United States.
Mm-hmm. Oh crap! We haven't even gotten halfway through the episode, have we?
That's okay. We still got more time.
Okay. So then, I'm kind of wonder. I didn't want. I mean, when I saw the little dancer pony that Apple Bloom was, who was basically who Apple Bloom met when she wanted to be a dancer, and he was orange and purple, and Scootaloo was orange and purple. I'm thinking. I don't. I mean, how can you say, are you two going to wind up being related later on in the episode without sounding racist?
I don't know.
Earth
I
Pony,
mean,
Pegasus.
The
let's
Cake
look at
Twins,
a
Nolan.
few. Let's look at a
Point.
few of the pony families here, cause like let's take Twilight's family for example. Twilight and her brother share 0 colors.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but Rainbow Dash and Rainbow Blitz are confirmed to be related. Word of God.
Yeah, but I'm
Uh,
just saying, just because they're the same color doesn't mean they're related, and just because they're related doesn't mean that they're the same color. It's a serious case of correlation does not equal causation.
Hmm.
If they're related,
Well, actually,
they may or may not be the same or similar colors. If they're not related, or if they're the same or similar colors, they may or may not be related. There's just it's
In other words,
completely
pony genetics
irrelevant
is really weird.
one to the other.
right.
mhm.
There's actually been a book I've been reading called Lines and Webs, and I could talk about that for a decent amount of time, but what could be happening in there could be described as a parallel. I wouldn't go that far because that story is like nightmare fuel when you really think about what's going on. But I loved his expression. Perfectly competent, goes to the stage, and then it's deer in headlights. Like, I'm not going out there. No, you can't make me. I'm going to stand here and just shake like a leaf and sweat profusely on command.
Okay, but I've totally been there on more than one occasion. Like
Yeah, totally.
that is textbook stage fright.
Hmm. Speaking of, was he ever? I'm trying to remember. Did they ever say his name?
I don't believe so, no. It was just some dancer pony. I would have to go through the credits again, but I don't remember even him seeing being credited for a voice role.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't actually remember a name for him either.
he was there for. I mean, that would have. It is like I was first thinking he was going to be Luna or someone trying to get Apple Bloom's confidence up by giving her a problem to deal with, because that seems like something she'd do. But then no, that pony exists and he has no name.
I don't
Who are
know.
you? Who
I'm
are
gonna
you,
call him
unknown dancing pony with top hat on your butt?
until I'm corrected in the future. I'm gonna call him Smooth Groove.
Okay,
I'm okay with that name. Something else I just noticed about the
I'm gonna
episode.
call him Spotlight
Yeah,
because his cutie mark is spot.
and this has been happening
That's good
since the
too.
end of the premiere. Where the hell is everyone else? We haven't seen hide nor hair of Starlight Glimmer. It's like they all vanished and went on vacation again. And I get that there's other stories to be told, but at the same time, just to so quickly shift from a formula that worked to just this almost, I want to say random, is almost a little confusing to me.
I wouldn't
I don't
really
get
say
it.
that it's switched formulas. The show has historically been a slice of life show. I mean, yeah, in more recent seasons, we've had a little bit more adventure, traveling across Equestria and stuff. But even in those seasons, we've still had plenty of slice of life. I can English episodes, and we're only 4 episodes into this season out of what, based on historical evidence, is probably going to be a 26 episode season. So we got 22 more episodes. Well, 20 if you don't count the presumably 2 episode season finale. So 20 more
Mm-hmm.
episodes, maybe more. Um,
He has
to
a
work
name.
in more of that stuff. So
He has a
Okay,
name. It's
but this
called his name is Tender Taps,
Tender
voiced by Travis
Taps.
Turner.
trend tender taps. That yeah.
You're
I'm not
not gonna
gonna.
believe who voiced Hoofer Steps.
Who's Hoofer Steps? The teacher?
Yeah,
Who is that?
Falcon Radio. Any guesses here?
Tara Strong,
No.
I've got.
Lady Gaga,
What was that? I didn't hear your radio. What was that?
I said I've got nothing.
Lady
Falcon?
Gaga.
Can you
Uh,
feel me staring at you?
honestly,
Falcon's cheating by trying to look it up.
No, I'm not. In fact, can verify on the recording. I can show it to you.
I have it
Um,
right here. Our favorite contortionist, Tabitha St. Germain. That
Oh,
woman is so talented.
yeah,
She
I
is.
probably should have just defaulted to that. She plays everybody on this show.
She does. She plays
yep.
everybody.
Everyone is Tabitha. That's a new meme. Everyone is Tabitha.
Everybody's Tabitha. I love it.
Mhm.
And I'm just imagining people like shopping Tabitha's face just onto characters, regardless of if she voices them or not. Just, everyone is Tabitha.
So, Rita, we haven't heard a lot from you. What did you think of this week's episode? Did you see this week's episode?
Radio.
I rendered him speechless. I have such power over people. It's amazing.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away. Did someone ask me something?
Oh my god,
Yes, I
you
asked-
left during
yeah.
the episode. You're so negligent. Ah!
What did?
I had asked you if what did you think of the episode, if you had seen it already or not.
Long story short, really, it's just going to be an echo chamber, what my opinion on the episode was. But the thing is, it did address one of the big questions I had about the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Basically, the whole, what the heck do we do now after they receive their Cutie Marks? The execution, on the other hand, I can't say I was the biggest fan of it, but really, I was entertained. And for that reason alone, it's enough for me to say, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that,
I this is just one. I'm sorry, Dalkin.
No,
I don't
go-
mean
go
to cut
ahead,
you
go
off,
ahead.
but I just. Where the hell are these kids' parents? They are bungee jumping. They are hang gliding. They almost got made into taffy. It's just.
Look, we started out this show with Twilight Sparkle moving away from her home on basically a moment's notice, as far as we're aware, and then running off into the most feared forest in the nation.
On purpose.
On purpose, by herself. The only reason she went accompanied was because her friends absolutely insisted.
Her new friends, it's just kind of going, you ponies are weird.
I kind of get the feeling that, incidentally or otherwise, the general parenting method in this world is, "Alright, have fun."
Is much more laissez-faire than in ours.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, well, I think to address your point, Shu, we really can't judge the dynamic based on what we see because, again, there's a lot more basic freedoms. Security is not an issue, at least in Ponyville. That could be very different in Philadelphia, Manhattan, Camelot, we don't know. But I think Ponyville, even though it has been the ground zero for any crazy thing that has happened, it happens there first and foremost, then it goes everywhere else in the kingdom. That is where it's just a safe haven. And I think the rules are just done differently in a way basically common to what it was like for kids growing up in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, where you could go off to your friend's house 5 miles away and your mother knew where you were at all times and she wasn't concerned about your safety at all.
But okay.
Well, I think
reiterate.
predominantly it is the way it is for the sake of narrative convenience. But I do kind of chuckle at the idea that parents in Equestria are just like, oh yeah, they'll be fine. And they just kind of don't worry about it. Like, okay, whatevs.
Bye, son. Don't get eaten by mountain lions.
Yes.
Pretty much. And it's okay to have a midlife crisis when you're like 8.
This is only really reinforced by the comics, where, like, the Crusaders go off and have pretendy fun time games with Discord, of all people.
Oh yeah.
And
That was a good episode. That was a good issue.
yeah, it was a really entertaining issue. But it if anything demonstrates just how lax the monitoring in this world really is, I think it's that.
Definitely, without question.
Which, come to think of it, probably explains how Tyrek was able to sneak around undetected for all that time.
Yeah,
When
well,
he
possibly
escaped
Pony.
from Tartarus.
Possibly everyone saw it and they said, "Oh, Tartarus Pony escaping? Oh, what the hell? Those six will solve it. They do everything around here."
Well, to be fair, they kind of did.
Yeah, it was shown in this. It was shown in the last season finale that if the main six never united, Ponyville would be borked.
Well, I mean, we already knew that Equestria would pretty much be fucked over if the main six never got together.
Mm-hmm.
Many, many times over.
I say it was because Spike wasn't there personally.
Yes. Well, he is kind of the glue at times.
Yeah. Don't say glue when talking about ponies. You open up the door
I think
for
it's 100%
jokes.
appropriate here. He's,
Duncan,
he's,
is there something you're not telling us?
he's fired.
All right.
That's
Okay.
not good.
I think the better way to say it, uniting forces. That a less, sending them off to be processed way of looking at things. Uniting forces. That's a better way of saying that.
Yeah,
Don't send
calling
me
him
away.
the
I
glue is
hate my
so much
promise.
funnier.
Mm-hmm.
It is funny, but wow. It makes all those arts and crafts episodes. You're using your kinfolk. What is wrong with you? That's normal. Control population, built-in population control. There you go.
So
It does make you wonder where Sweetie Belle got all that glue for that macaroni and sapphire art that she made for Rarity.
she asked cheerily what they did with the slow children.
I'm not sure what upsets me more: the fact that we're even discussing this, or the thought that somewhere in the deep, dark recesses of the internet, there is a fanfic of that. Almost certainly.
In the Rainbow Factory, where
Must
fears
resist
and
the temptation.
horrors come true.
Stop it! You're gonna ruin everything. Wow, we're getting off the rails here, but that's okay. This is funny.
We've gone off the rails.
Now is probably as good a time as any to move on to fan mail and commentary stuff.
Yes.
So yeah. So we haven't really gotten any emails in, although the first episode did only go up a few days ago as of this recording. So,
Please email us. We're bored, desperate. Please.
However, we do have a few comments on the YouTube video posting thing. So, our most common question is, of course, and I predicted this in our first episode, where's the next episode of the radio play?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Delkin, you're going to want to answer this one. I'm no longer directly involved with the radio play, so
I'm gonna address this again a little bit more directly. We're still working on the radio play. This podcast, in fact, does not take any extra time away from the radio play. I want to be 10,000% clear on that. Doing this podcast does not take time away from the radio play. It is not going to make the episodes take even longer to come out. The episodes will come out when they come out. It boils down to the fact that we've got a lot of people who have a lot of stuff going on, and it's a volunteer project. Life comes first. That's always been our policy on this team, and it's always been one that honestly has been fair, and we can't expect people to take time away from school or family or work or anything like that to put time into the radio play. As much as I would love for us to get an episode out every 2 weeks, as much as everyone else on the team knows that I would like that, you can ask any of them. I have gotten on their tookuses so many times about increasing efficiency, making sure that, priorities are straight and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, shit happens. And this radio
It's just
play,
not
as much
logistically-
fun as we have doing it, it's going to come out when it comes out, period.
Exactly.
And we're as excited when a new episode comes out as you guys are. I mean, we look forward to bated breath to see what our efforts turn into, because it's always amazing what we provide them, and then they turn into this awesome product. And my mouth never ceases to drop when I hear the intro and the lines, and it takes you there. And we love to do it immediately. It's just a question of logistics and time. We only have set amounts of, like Dalton said.
And we love that you guys are so into it, and that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
We want to get that out. We love each and every one of our fans.
Yeah, we appreciate, that you love it so much. Like, it fills us with the warm fuzzies to know that we have so many people who love this thing that we make. We love it too. And so knowing that other people enjoy it and get a kick out of it and want more of it, that's awesome. But don't think for a second that we want more of it any less than you guys do, because I can guarantee you that the exact opposite is the case. I don't think there's anyone that wants more of this show to happen than the people working on it.
And to add even more of a silver lining to what's already been said, I think it's fair to say that we've made a great amount of progress on the new episode within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
totally.
having more people on the music team has definitely helped with that. I have certain associated gripes there, which I will not air on this episode, but suffice to say that, yes, we have been making more progress on the episode, and I'm not really comfortable giving out estimates of when it's going to come out, but it's in the final portion of the production process. And when it comes out, you guys are going to get like over an hour's worth of listening content. So it's not like we're going to be pooping out this tiny little episode. It's going to be long. It's going to be meeting our normal quality standard. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. So
It's
it
It's
sucks.
guaranteed.
We know
Yeah.
it sucks that it's taking so long, but it is still on the way. It is still going to come out, and it'll be worth it. I
Suffice to
promise.
say, you won't be kept waiting too much longer, and when it does come around, you'll most certainly like what we've got to offer.
and good news. It'll come out before Half-Life 3, so we're still better than Valve.
At this point, I'm really not sure if that's a
That's
bragging
hysterical.
point, Shu.
Yeah, but to sum it up simply, #soon.
Hashtag soon, yes.
Yes.
Hashtag soon, the brother of Donut Steel.
Thank you
Howsy
so much.
asks, does this need to exist?
Yes.
Yeah, we're bored sometimes. We need to get all these energies out. We got to talk about ponies. We would
Well-
self-destruct if we kept it in.
I think that question is rather irrelevant. Does it need to exist? Pfft, fuck if I know. Did we want it to exist? Yeah. And that's
Yes.
good enough for me. So fuck you. Okay, I'm better now.
No, not fuck you. We love you dearly. Please
No,
keep watching.
We do appreciate the criticism, but we would not have designed this project if we didn't want to at least give you something while we're working on producing the radio play.
In all
And we want
honesty,
to stay in touch. Yeah, we don't want to go dark. We hate going dark because that makes everyone wonder,
And-
what do you guys do? This is what we're doing right now.
jokes aside,
It is important to note that this is one of the many things that we've got that the EBC was really meant to do, and it's one of a few things that I think we had in mind for this particular channel.
Well, honestly, this and a few other things we've had on the books for ages. So, you know, we love you guys. Fuck you anyway, but no.
No,
we,
no,
we,
not for the beloved guys. We just
No,
we appreciate your patience, and we love being on this ride with you. We really do.
and one of the big things I hoped to do with this podcast, honestly, was just have something that we could kind of bring out, quickly, easily, and on a more regular basis, so that we do have something coming out to you that isn't, once a year. Because let's be honest, that's our track record at this point. As far as average episode release rate goes, is a couple episodes every couple of years. We've done just about as much as we can to make that keep going faster. We could have kept Eileen on. But the fact of the matter is that with her being so busy with everything else she's doing, you'd be waiting even longer on episodes than you have been. So, I mean, it's not like we're sitting on our thumbs doing nothing. It's just we got other stuff going on too, and some of us more than others. We don't do this for a living, and maybe if we
this is
did,
a volunteer project.
yeah, if we had the legal means of doing this for a living, I'd jump all over that just for the sake of being able to get this show out on a more regular basis.
Absolutely.
But, we're operating within the very tenuous legal gray area of fair use. And so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Adding money to the equation is kind of asking for
all sorts of trouble.
So
yeah, it's the poison pill we can't take. We'd love to tempt the thought, but it's just no. It would ruin everything, and it basically would be everything would just stop, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah. So, anyway, does this need to exist? Did we want it to? Totes. Do you guys want it to?
Absolutely.
Well, it kind of seems like you do for the most part. So we'll keep doing this, and hopefully you guys will keep liking it, and the radio play will come out as soon as we can get it out to you.
The way I see it, this whole podcast is just another manifestation of our commitment to creating new content on this channel that we enjoy doing, and that we also know that our audience will enjoy. Mm-hmm. And as part of that commitment, we will continue to produce content that we think you guys will enjoy.
Yeah.
MeFast4321 commented, I volunteer as a guest.
Who are you?
That's great. Our people will call your people. Don't call us.
Exactly. we will definitely call you. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. We will.
Okay, in all honesty, I'm not 100% opposed to the idea of having fans on as guests. However, I do want to clarify from the previous episode. When I was talking about having guests on, I was talking about having like content creators and stuff like that. Other people who drive stuff in the community that also has kind of an impact on the community at large. So,
Yeah.
not ruling out the possibility entirely. Definitely appreciate your enthusiasm. But it's really hard to write questions for somebody you know zero about.
Hmm. And also a good point is, we want to make sure that our audience, when we're bringing in a guest on, is also interested in them as well. And this is a good point where we do bring a guest on to give them some more visibility, especially if they're not the very well known at the time, or if they are very well known and they're working on something new as we are. Get some excitement generated and, get some more page views for them. We want to keep the content going. Because everyone does this because we love it. We don't do it for money. We don't do it for fame. Well, most of us don't do it for fame, but we do it because we have a genuine love for the show, and we have to express it. I mean, you know how it is when you get something just gets inside of you. It's got to come out, and if it doesn't come out, I mean, that's just so much energy just gets trapped. And I would hate to feel that way, not be able to, do something about something I enjoy.
Yeah, pretty much that. It doesn't really look like we have a heck of a lot more here. We got a couple of, great job, guys, sort of stuff. Thank you, guys. We love hearing that, too.
Yes.
I can't really say it enough.
Mhm.
We
It's so
love
simple,
hearing
but
that
it
you
is
like our
so
stuff.
powerful.
So,
Yes.
it does help on the days where things are really slugging along and trying to keep the cranking the gears in the machine, as it were. When that gets really hard, that kind of stuff is what keeps us going on some days. So definitely appreciate the positive input.
Absolutely.
So that's all I got for fan mail. So that really brings us to the end of our episode.
Fan
You
art.
almost forgot the fan of media there, Duncan. We have to talk about that
I
too.
do.
Yeah. We do.
I totally left the fan media off of my outline by accident. I mean, I totally did on
Stuff
purpose
happens.
just to jip you guys, but
Dulgan, as head admin, I hereby dismiss you to insert random location here. You're fired.
Dalkin was being EA. Dalkin was being EA Games and would have charged you micropayments to see it.
Exactly.
He'll be
So,
dealt with
yep.
yeah,
permanently.
yeah. I think I'll go
It's
first.
day
I
one
have something a bit,
DLC.
yeah. I have something a bit different this week. Last week I had a picture. This week I have a story I recently read, and it's I think it's called Pony Break. Quick synopsis. Basically, it's a pony and human world,
Can you link that
and
really quick?
they
Nolan?
are. What's that?
Can you link
Yeah,
that
hang
real
on
quick?
one second. Just grab, yeah, 1 second. Grabbing it. Copy that second. Copy that thing. And boop. There you go.
Way I can get
And
it
of
on the
course,
screen for our audience here.
yeah. It's a quick read. I'm thinking maybe like 5-10 minutes. And I don't normally comment on stuff, but when I read this, it's just yeah, you say for reading my comment because I don't want to start crying on the air because I can feel, that feeling kind of starting to well up. But it's just this. It's a very very sweet story, and it just reminds us that when we get stressed out of life, just it doesn't hurt to just take a minute to just decompress and let everything go. So
Okay, that's a great
that's
message.
my offering.
I see a Fluttershy on a couch. That's my
Yes.
observation here.
Draw your conclusions. I would recommend reading it. It's a good story.
Tell me about your mother, if that's okay.
It's not that quite that bad, but
All right, shoot.
Okay,
What you got for us?
I'm choosing a bit. It's a bit of an old pick, but I still really like it. It's from an artist called Zion05, who does a lot of very beautiful paintings on their DeviantArt page. And in this one, as you can see, it's Trixie, with Snips and Snails. And the one thing I did really like here is Snips, because he's got sort of a Gimli thing going on.
I like his
And
scissor sword.
yeah, I originally thought that was a sword until I realized, wait, those are scissors. And then me being slightly sloshed, I thought, dude, does he run with those? Does Trixie know that he's running with scissors? But
It
I think
probably
it's
is.
beautiful and epic, and I genuinely want to know more about what's going on here. Especially because that stick, if you'll notice it looks a lot. This wasn't intentional because this picture came out years before season 5, but it does look a lot like a more intricate version of Starlight Glimmer's Cutie Mark Steeler stick.
Oh, the staff of equalness
staff of
or whatever.
sameness. Staff of sameness.
Yeah,
Staff of sameness.
It looks a little bit like the Staff of Sameness, the same curved design on a stick.
Except the curve is a dragon.
Yeah.
I think the whole electric boss thing happened. I like that. That's really cool.
I really like.
Good offering, Matt. I appreciate that.
I like the detail in this. Like just how decorated Trixie's robes and hat are. Like you can see the original robes and hat in there, but it's all totally wizarded up. Wizarded? Wizarded?
Leveled up with simple. You gain XP today.
But yes, I like the design on that cloak, and I kind of want it. Hey, Radio, what do you have for us?
All right, so considering that the latest episode featured the Cutie Mark Crusaders, I thought it was only fair to find art of the same. Now, only recently, although as I understand, a lot of you actually know this artist already, I was recently introduced to one artist by the name of NC Mares, and found this little gem
I
on her top.
love NC Mares. NC Mares is... I don't know if they're my favorite artist in the fandom, but if they're not, they're pretty well high up there.
They're pretty close. I've always got a soft spot for Jada Jinx because, crushes and all that. I admitted it on the air. It's out there open, but ever since I saw him or her come out in the market, it's just been... Wow. I mean, there's so much detail in every picture he draws, and it just takes it to a whole different level.
And there's really not much to say about this one, but it's cute. I thought it was
Very
appropriate. Cute. There's really not much more to say about it. It's adorable.
It is.
I like that. My eyes are up here. Tee-hee-hee.
I love the toilet paper roll horns.
Yes. Those are cute.
They're adorable. It reminds me a lot of what's her name? Flufflepuff's fake horns.
Yes.
Now they just need rainbows to dance on.
All right.
No, they don't.
So mine
Your turn.
it's Luna, of course. If I'm the Sithisto of this podcast, Luna is my Trixie.
God.
Praise be the big blue moon horse.
God.
I insist on calling her that.
By the way, it's hashtag Moonbutt Monday. You need to tweet that later on. It is Moonbutt Monday.
Moonbutt Monday.
Moonbutt Monday. I
love
like
it.
that.
Donald not put this out like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that's it. It's just you can't help but just do it. Moonbutt Monday and Sunbutt Sunday. So there you go.
Like that, and then
Precisely.
Very slick.
that was an ad.
Close enough. Deets. Doesn't matter.
No love for Heartbutt or Starbutt?
No.
No, they're not cool enough. They don't have enough sparkle yet. Ironic,
They don't rule
considering
the
one has
world.
sparkle in their name.
Exactly.
Anyway, I really like this. I get a kick out of I was trying to say like 6 things at the same time. I get a kick out of the like ornate jewelry designs that people come up with, and like armor designs and stuff like that. Like the etching and the swirls and stuff on her horseshoes here. I also thought the sparkles on Luna's wing were a nice touch. But one of the things I really think is neat about Magna Luna's version of Luna is the like arcane tattoo she has on her foreleg there. It like glows and everything. So they do that with every rendering that they do of her. They do that tattoo thing, and I think she's not even the only character that they do that with. But I just think it looks really cool. And I like to think that it actually has some like mystical function, like it's like a warding spell or something like that. So, I get a kick out of
Could
it.
be what helps together in the dreamland. I love the eyes. It's just all of a sudden it goes the blues are exchanged with this really rich purple, and
Yeah.
all the details in the mane and wings. That is really hard. I have seen someone try to do that. That takes a ton of work.
Oh yeah.
Even the etching of the legs. That's literally 2-3 hours. Easy to get that done right.
And even like the background here doesn't have a lot going on. But even with that, like they've got the swirls with the clouds going on and everything, and they use that, actually dipping it down in the middle to naturally draw your eye straight to Luna, right in the middle. So like just design fundamentals on this are phenomenal. In everything from the intricate designs to just the subtlest parts in the background with the little fluffy swirly clouds that if you're not looking at them you hardly even notice that they're there.
The art style here especially, and this is praise, especially the clouds, reminds me a lot of the Wind Waker.
It does,
A
yeah.
little
It has
bit.
that whole the cell shading thing to it. Yeah.
I've never actually played that, but I have seen the art style, so I know what you're talking about
Oh,
there.
you should play that game. That's a good game. It's fun.
And I also really like because Luna's hair is awesome, but it's not. But in the show, it's basically just blue. But here, and I've seen this also in fandom a lot, where her hair is made to look like a nebula or galaxies, and it has all these little stars in it, and I
Yeah,
really
it's
like
got
that.
that real rich like um, zero light pollution night sky kind of look to it.
Though
I
with
can
those R
understand why they
stars,
don't put that much detail into it in the show, because you know they got a budget and everything. But
Yeah, and that
I
that would
do
take
love
hours in
seeing that
animation
too.
alone.
I am interested in seeing how stuff like that changes in the My Little Pony movie next year.
hmm
Yeah, that
Because
should be something
that
important.
has a
Yeah.
film budget, and so the animation and everything is gonna go, for quality wise, it's gonna go through the roof. So I'm wondering, as far as like character designs and stuff, are they gonna add a lot of little details like that in there, or are they just gonna stick with the basic stuff? Like how's that gonna change how everything looks and all? So, I think that's interesting.
Yeah. My big concern about the movie, and this has probably been addressed in other podcasts already, is the fact that they're probably not going to have the original voice cast. I don't know how it works with other ones, but usually for me, if the voice is not the same, it's a lot harder for me to get into it. Now, I'm not going to discount anything the production team has done so far, but
uh,
for
I
me,
thought they
that's going to
listed
be.
the core cast as being the cast on the movie already.
I
yeah,
was not aware of that. I thought there was some law preventing them from doing that here in the United States because they're part of a Canadian film union or something.
They
that
certainly haven't had a problem doing that before. Why would they stop now?
yeah,
Huh.
I was about to say.
Well, then I'm
Especially
mistaken. I
considering that
apologize.
the having looked into union membership in the acting guild myself, um, SAG-AFTRA is the one that's in the U.S. They have direct affiliation with or at least one of the major uh, acting unions in Canada. So it may be that it's just if you're not affiliated with the right one, then that happens. But
That probably was my misunderstanding. I apologize to anyone to confusing you that they're or scaring you. I don't mean
and
to frighten anybody here.
also
So
things like that change over the years. Like SAG-AFTRA used to be two separate unions, and then it was SAG and AFTRA. But they wound up merging. I don't know if one bought out the other or what, but in any case, so as far as I know, anyway, there haven't been any issues there with that for whatever reasons there may or may not be. So shrug. But anyway, that's all the time we have.
yes,
So thank you everybody for joining us today.
it's been a pleasure. For week 2, we've survived. We made it.
Yeah, and we will
Thanks
see
for having
you
me.
next Friday for the Equestrian Broadcasting Company. This has been Hayfries and Horseapples with Mr. Shoebox.
Hello. Bye.
Noteworthy.
Bello.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
RadioHooves.
Have a good evening, folks.
And myself, Dalkin Starbein. You have an awesome whatever time of day it is for you.